Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we're diving deep into everything happening around the San Francisco 49ers as they push through training camp and shake up their roster with some pretty significant moves. The energy around the team right now is intense. There's a lot of activity, and it's clear the front office and coaching staff are determined to shape a roster that can make some serious noise this season. Let's break down what's going on, starting with the 9. Roster moves the Niners pulled off just before practice number 6 at their SAP Performance facility. First, San Francisco made some key signings that could add new dimensions to their offense and special teams. They brought in wide receiver Andy Isabella, a player known primarily for his blazing speed clocking in at 43 on the speed scale. This is exactly what head coach Kyle Shanahan highlighted after practice. Speed was something the team desperately needed, and Isabella brings that in spades. He's not a big guy by NFL standards, standing around 5'8" or 9 and weighing less than 190 pounds. But what he lacks in size, he tries to make up for with pure acceleration and quickness. Isabella was an All-American at UMass during his last 2 college seasons, breaking the 1,000-yard mark, and was a second-round pick back in 2019 by the Arizona Cardinals. His NFL journey has been a bit rocky with challenges en route, running, and his smaller frame raising durability questions, but the 49ers seem to believe they can unlock his potential. What's intriguing is his ability as a punt returner, which the team has already begun exploring. It's that kind of versatility and game-changing speed that could give the offense an unexpected weapon. Alongside Isabella, the Niners signed running back Amir Abdullah. Abdullah was a second-round pick back in 2015, drafted by the Detroit Lions after showcasing strong receiving skills and pass protection abilities at Nebraska. He's not just a ground-and-pound runner. His dual-threat capacity to catch passes out of the backfield is something that catches the coaching staff's eye, especially with Kyle Shanahan's scheme favoring versatile backs who can be threats both running and catching the ball. Abdullah also has return experience, which adds more value given the importance of special teams in close games. Last season with the Raiders, he showed flashes of solid production, and his experience in the league, nearly a decade at running back, is impressive considering the physical toll the position takes on players. The Niners clearly want to tap into that veteran savvy and multi-dimensional skill set. Then there's Marquez Callaway, a wide receiver with good size at 6'2" and 204 pounds, who the Niners also added to their roster. Callaway made some noise during his time with the New Orleans Saints, especially in his second year, when he racked up nearly 700 yards and 6 touchdowns. That season showed his potential as an undrafted free agent, but since then he struggled to maintain that level of impact. What San Francisco sees in him is that size and presence at the receiver position, something that complements the smaller, speedier receivers like Isabella. It's a balancing act for the Niners to have a mix of physicality and quickness on the outside, and Callaway brings the kind of frame that can win contested catches and help in red zone situations. San Francisco didn't stop there. They also signed quarterback Carter Bradley, whose journey is interesting in itself. Bradley played college ball at Toledo in South Alabama, and he happens to be the son of Gus Bradley, the Niners' associate head coach and defensive staff member under Robert Saleh. After a strong workout, Kyle Shanahan said the team had no choice but to bring him aboard. Shanahan has a history of carrying 4 quarterbacks during training camp, and this year that group consists of Brock Purdy, M. Jones, Tanner Mordecai, and now Bradley. Purdy and Jones have been impressive so far, and Bradley adds some depth and competition, which is always crucial in camp. He has decent size and arm strength, which are important attributes for a backup QB, and last year he was with the Raiders as an undrafted free agent. While the new signings grabbed headlines, the Niners also made some cuts. They released wide receivers Equanimous St. Brown, Malik Nolas, offensive lineman Sebastian Gutierrez, and backup safety Jalen Mahoney. These moves reflect the constant roster churn teams deal with during camp, especially at skill positions like wide receiver where competition is fierce. It's worth noting that the 2 wide receivers signed just last week, including St. Brown, are already off the roster, indicating the Niners are aggressively testing options to find the right fit. The decision to part ways with Mahoney, a backup safety, also underscores how important depth and versatility are to the defensive coaching staff, especially as injuries and performance dictate availability. One internal roster update that stands out is the return of left guard Ben Bartch. He was dealing with a quad injury that kept him out of practice, but the Niners took him off the non-football injury list, and he immediately stepped into the starting lineup during practice. That's a strong vote of confidence from the coaching staff, especially from Shanahan, who clearly sees Bartch as a vital piece on the offensive line. The current offensive line setup is solid, with Trent Williams widely regarded as one of the greatest offensive tackles of all time, anchoring the left tackle spot. Bartch is now holding down the left guard position, filling in for Nick Bosa, who had been getting reps there. At center, Jake Brendel continues to impress and remains a favorite of Shanahan's. On the right side, Dominic Raiola has shown glimpses of being one of the league's top guards, though he has struggled a bit during camp, but his ceiling is sky high if he can round into form. Colton McKivitz is motivated in the final year of his contract and has publicly expressed his desire to become a Pro Bowler in 2025. This offensive line mix of proven veterans and motivated young talent is a crucial foundation for the team's success. Shifting to injuries, the Niners face some challenges. Running back Jordan James is currently sidelined with a knee injury, which partially explains the signing of Abdullah. James has missed multiple practices and remains day-to-day, so the team is cautious but optimistic about his recovery timeline. Then there's cornerback Diamando Lenore, who is widely expected to break out this year and become a Pro Bowl caliber player. Unfortunately, he's dealing with a hip injury that will keep him out for at least 3 practices. His absence puts additional strain on the team's defensive backfield, especially with the second corner Renardo Green also sidelined. The Niners will need players like Trey Brown and Darrell Luter Jr. to step up and fill those gaps. Additionally, Upton Stouter, a promising third-round pick known for his speed and run defense, is being tested to contribute more significantly primarily in the slot. One particularly tough blow is the re-aggravation of Jawan Jennings' calf injury. Jennings is arguably the team's top wide receiver, especially with Brandon Ayuk out and Ricky Pearsall dealing with inconsistency and injury issues. Jennings' calf injury is worrisome because soft tissue injuries, especially calves, can spiral into Achilles problems if not handled carefully. This injury disrupts the timing and chemistry on offense, particularly for a receiver who is aiming for a contract extension and looking to make a big impact this season. Pearsall did return to practice, but remains something of an unknown, showing flashes last year, but needing to prove consistency. The wide receiver core is in a state of flux, and how these injuries heal will be critical to the Niners' passing game. On the positive side of the injury, front rookie first-round pick Mike Williams returned to practice after missing a session with an ankle injury. Williams, a physical specimen from Georgia, has been impressive in camp, showing the power, length, and versatility that made him such a high draft pick. His technique and ability to play both defensive end and tackle add valuable flexibility to the defensive front. Kyle Shanahan has praised him highly, noting that Williams is as good with his hands as anyone he's seen coming out of college recently. This kind of versatility and physicality could make Williams a foundational piece for the Niners' defense moving forward. As training camp progresses, the coaching staff is managing veterans carefully. Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, and Nick Bosa all had days off to preserve their health and energy for the grueling regular season ahead. McCaffrey looks to be in great shape with explosiveness and speed back to top form, which bodes well for the offense's dynamic potential. Trent Williams has had some challenges in one-on-one matchups against Bosa, but that's more a testament to Bosa's elite skill rather than any decline from Williams. This iron sharpens iron battle only pushes both players to elevate their games. Bosa, meanwhile, has been excellent in camp, showing why he's considered one of the league's premier defensive ends. One of the standout moments from practice number 6 came from Brock Purdy, who launched a deep ball for a 75-yard touchdown. To DeMarcus Robinson, Purdy has been shaking off the label of a check-down quarterback with several impressive deep throws throughout camp. Earlier this week, he connected on a 50-yard pass to Jordan Watkins and hit George Kittle downfield multiple times. These plays prove that Purdy can stretch the field and make big plays when given the chance. His deep ball accuracy ranks among the top quarterbacks in the league despite not having the prototypical size and arm strength often associated with elite passers. This emerging confidence and connection with his receivers is exactly what the offense needs to maintain its explosiveness. In addition to the new signings, Amir Abdullah and Andy Isabella took some punt return reps along with rookie Jordan Watkins. And 7th-round pick Junior Bergen. Bergen, who comes from Montana and has a strong special teams background, has been praised by special teams coordinator Brent Burning. Bergen is expected to primarily contribute on special teams, but will need to show receiving skills to secure a spot on the final roster. Kyle Shanahan has also spoken positively about other rookies like Mike Williams and Upton Stout, emphasizing their tenacity, physicality, and potential impact on the team. Shanahan's tough love approach with rookies is paying dividends, especially with players who bring energy and toughness to the field. Overall, the Niners training camp is shaping up to be a rigorous and revealing process, with key injuries, new signings, and emerging talent battling for spots. Every practice matters. The coaching staff's ability to manage veteran players, nurture young talent, and build depth will be crucial as the team aims to make a deep playoff run. There's a sense that this draft class could be a turning point for the franchise's future, especially with players showing promise and veterans stepping up despite setbacks. The energy in Santa Clara is high, and the fans have plenty to be excited about as the team moves closer to the regular season. As the San Francisco 49ers, Saturday-style 49ers continue their grueling training camp, it's clear that the team's leadership is laser-focused on building a squad that can overcome adversity and thrive under pressure. The intense competition on the roster reflects not only the depth the team has accumulated, but also the challenges posed by injuries and roster turnover. The atmosphere inside the SAP Performance Facility is charged with a mix of urgency and opportunity as veterans try to solidify their roles while younger players and newcomers battle to prove they belong in the NFL. One of the major storylines this camp has been the evolving quarterback situation. Brock Purdy, who took the league by surprise last season with his poise and playmaking ability, has been demonstrating remarkable growth during practice sessions, despite his relatively modest size and the skepticism that followed his draft status. Purdy has steadily earned the trust of Kyle Shanahan and the offensive coaches. His ability to deliver accurate deep balls has been particularly impressive, a skill that was on full display during the recent practice when he connected with DeMarcus Robinson for a 75-yard touchdown. These moments are vital for Purdy's confidence as well as for the team's offensive rhythm. Beyond the long throws, Purdy's quick decision-making and accuracy on intermediate routes keep the offense humming, especially when matched against the league's top defensive units. Behind Purdy, the competition among backup quarterbacks remains fierce. Trey Lance, recovering from injury, and Tanner Mordecai, signed from the XFL last season, continue to push each other and Purdy in practice. Meanwhile, Carter Bradley's addition to the roster not only adds depth but also a unique dynamic given his lineage as the son of Gus Bradley. Gus's defensive expertise brings added value to the team's overall preparation, and having his son in camp adds an interesting subplot. Shanahan appreciates the competitive atmosphere created by having multiple quarterbacks vying for reps, which ultimately raises the level of play. The coaching staff remains patient, with all signal callers emphasizing consistency and reducing turnovers as top priorities. On the offensive side of the ball, wide receiver remains a position of constant evaluation and flux. The departure of Equanimous St. Brown and Malik Knowles from the roster indicates how fluid the situation is. The team is still searching for reliable depth behind their established starters, and the signings of Andy Isabella and Marquez Callaway are part of a strategic push to find players who can bring both speed and size to the receiving core. Isabella's blazing speed and return ability give the Niners a potential game changer on special teams, while Callaway's physicality could be crucial in red zone and contested catch situations. Their ability to adapt quickly to Shanahan's complex route running schemes will be key to their survival on the roster. Kyle Shanahan has stressed that route precision and understanding defensive coverages are non-negotiable, so it's not just raw athleticism that matters here. The running, back group has also seen some significant adjustments. Jordan James's ongoing knee issues have prompted the team to add Amir Abdullah, a seasoned player known for his versatility in the backfield and special teams. Abdullah brings valuable NFL experience and the ability to contribute as a receiver out of the backfield, which fits perfectly with the Niners' offensive philosophy that emphasizes multiple receiving threats. Christian McCaffrey, the star of the backfield, has been carefully managed through practice, with the coaching staff limiting his reps to preserve his health and maximize his effectiveness in the long season ahead. McCaffrey's combination of speed, agility, and football IQ makes him the centerpiece of the offense, and his presence forces defenses to account for him on every play, opening up opportunities for other skilled players. Injuries remain an unavoidable part of the process, and the Niners have not been immune. The absence of Deomandor Lenore and Renardo Green from cornerback duties has shifted defensive responsibilities to younger players like Trey Brown and Darrell Luter Jr. This testing ground for the secondary is both a challenge and an opportunity. Shanahan and defensive coordinator Robert Saleh have been vocal about their confidence in these young players, but they also acknowledge the learning curve at the NFL level. The secondary's depth is being stretched, and special attention is being paid to their communication coverage techniques and ability to react to complex offensive schemes. Upton Stout, the third-round rookie, known for his speed and run support, is gradually being integrated more into the rotation, primarily in the slot. His physical style of play and willingness to tackle have drawn praise from coaches who see him as a potential contributor not just this season, but for years to come. The defensive line, anchored by Nick Bosa and bolstered by rookie Mike Williams, continues to be a strength for the team. Bosa's relentless pass-rushing ability remains a key factor in the Niners' defensive success, and his conditioning and technique have improved steadily throughout camp. Mike Williams, fresh off an impressive college career at Georgia, has shown why he was a first-round pick. His versatility in lining up both inside and outside makes him a nightmare for opposing offensive lines. Coaches have been impressed by his hand usage, leverage, and football instincts, often comparing his skill set to some of the best defensive linemen in the league. The depth behind these stars is still a work in progress, but players like Josh Allen and Arik Armstead provide solid rotational support, giving the Niners a formidable front. The offensive line is another key area of focus, as it's arguably the foundation of the team's identity. The return of Ben Bartch from his quad injury has been a welcome development, solidifying the left guard position and allowing Nick Bosa to focus more on his natural defensive end spot rather than filling in on offense. Trent Williams remains the stalwart at left tackle, anchoring a unit that blends experience and youth. Jake Brendel at center has shown consistency and leadership, helping to coordinate protections and making line calls that keep the offense operating smoothly. Dominic Raiola's struggles at right guard have been noted, but his potential to become a top-tier player keeps the coaches optimistic. Meanwhile, Colton McKivitz's determination to have a breakout year and earn a Pro Bowl nod adds a layer of competitive fire to the unit. The offensive line's chemistry will be critical in both protecting Purdy and creating running lanes for McCaffrey and the other backs. Special teams, often an overlooked facet of the game, have been given special attention in camp. The Niners brought in rookies like Jordan Watkins and Junior Bergen to compete for return duties and coverage roles. Watkins' experience at the collegiate level as a dynamic returner is promising, and Bergen's physicality and speed have impressed special teams coordinator Brent Burning. These young players understand that making an impact on special teams can be the key to carving out a spot on the final roster, especially in a league where every yard gained or lost on returns can influence the outcome of games. Kyle Shanahan has emphasized that strong special teams play is a hallmark of championship caliber teams. So these reps are more than just about individual success. They're about contributing to the team's overall identity. One of the emotional moments in camp came when Jawan Jennings, the team's leading wide receiver after the offseason injuries, suffered a setback with his calf injury. Jennings had been working hard to regain full strength and was seen as a pivotal part of the offense's passing game. His injury is a significant blow not just for the depth chart, but also for the locker room morale. Soft tissue injuries like calves require careful management to avoid long-term complications, so the medical staff is being particularly cautious with his rehab. Ricky Pearsall's return to practice has offered some hope, but consistency remains a question mark for the young receiver. With Brandon Ayuk still recovering from previous injuries, the wide receiver room is in flux, and it puts extra pressure on players like George Kittle, who must shoulder more of the offensive load.